Hi! So I joined Art Fight this year, which is my third year of participating. I previously joined in 2021 and 2022, but I couldn't join last year in 2023. I only did like a measly amount of tags in those 2 years because I was busy with college work, but this year I had time. Or well, half the time because I joined Thor's Pirate Jam 15 for the remaining 2 weeks. We'll see if I can put out a video about that later. I was in Team Seafoam this year and I just wanted to share the attacks that I did this year and also some of the defenses that I got. So Art Fight just started and I was still poking around on what characters I can attack or like want to draw when suddenly I got attacked. And what? What's this? It's so cute! Who is this? What? Why? Why is this so cute? Oh my god, I was not expecting this and like, I was just so happy and Art Fight just started. So this attack is from Tempura Shrimp, or they also go by Krill, which is what they signed your name as, and it is an attack on my loot book, Rhodonite on the left, which is a new character that I added for this year. The loot book on the right is actually their character, Buggy. They are adorable, silly buggers, and I had to revenge this. So this is the first attack I did of Art Fight 2024, a pixel art animation done in Sprite. I also decided on doing mostly pixel art for this Art Fight because remember how I mentioned that I joined Pirate Jam 15? Yeah, I already found a team and we decided to use pixel art for this jam, and I have never done pixel art before, so I just took Art Fight as a very good excuse to practice some pixel art. So this is an idle animation of Buggy. I did an animation because I just wanted to practice animation a little bit more. I first only just made it like breathe a little bit, and then I just for some reason thought, hey, let's like make it cuter and give it like a little flower particle thingy. So I added that in the back, which is why that screenshot of all my animation frames looked like that. And this is the second piece of animation that I've done with a sprite ever. The first piece was that IRL loot book that I did, and it turned out pretty nice. And I think I did all of this with a mouse because I was just too lazy to pull out my drawing tablet. But also, it seems like if your pixel art canvas is just small enough, you can kind of just get away with that because pixel art is just so precise, which makes it a lot easier to kind of just fix because you can just click the pixel with your mouse. So like, I was really enjoying pixel art and I just really like how it turned out, and it's just nice and I was really happy. And Tempura Shrimp was really happy about receiving this as well. So next up is just pixel art of Soul from Uncanny Fam. I had been poking around on Uncanny Fam's profile for a little bit because she just randomly gave me a follow like a few years back, and I haven't fully utilized all of ArtSight's like follow and like bookmark tools until somewhat this year. So I've kind of just been like poking around her profile and wondering like, okay, interesting follow, let's see what you have. She has a lot of really cool and nicely designed characters on her profile, but then I wasn't the most like confident in drawing all these humanoid characters, and then ultimately ended up deciding on drawing Soul because Sun Goddess, also because a lot of her characters have like a lot of textures and details on them that I don't think I could just put that in any low resolution pixel art. Except for Soul, who has like a little bit more of a simpler design and a kind of monochromatic type color scheme. Even then, I actually still had a little bit of trouble trying to fit all her like details with all the wings onto the page. So it was still kind of fun like trying to figure out how to add all these wings though, and then to make them like visually distinct from each other because it was in danger of just like melding with everything because of the color scheme. But in the end, it turned out really nice. I was really happy about how I eventually figured out. And it was really nice to find out that Uncanny Fam actually really likes pixel art, so happiness. On to the next one, I drew this adorable bugger named Mooney. Its design just really caught my eye. It's just a really cute moth, and I was like, actually been searching for bug-related characters to draw this art fight because I had been like catching caterpillars, and I've been trying to see if they would turn into a moth or a butterfly lately. So I also did a 128 by 128 square canvas this time, which is the largest I've gotten to, because previously the largest I've gotten was a 64 pixel square canvas. So it was really nice that it gave me a lot of space, and I actually started drafting it quite afterly, where it started feeling a bit more like doing regular digital art in Krita. But then it slowly started feeling a little draining, because there's actually just a lot of elements in the image as opposed to any of the previous pixel art that I've done. It also started draining me because of the precise nature of the medium. I started wondering like, oh, is this pixel supposed to be there on that flower stem? Because it doesn't look smooth. But then it doesn't look smooth anyways because it's pixel art, so like it's just very slightly blocky, but then like adding and removing like a pixel, I can see the difference, but also it kind of just like eventually it didn't matter. And I was really proud of this piece. It just turned out so nice. I put so much heart and detail into it, and I was like really glad to finally finish it, because yeah, it was a little tiring, but it was great. I'm also not entirely sure if I did the lighting right, actually. Lighting has never been my strong suit. I really should like try doing some studies at some point, but I tried. And the reason why there was like lighting on the stem is because the underside of Mooney's wings glow, which is a description of the character. So I was trying to make it like shed light on the stem, but at the same time I was like, oh wait, there's still moonlight that comes from like the top. So I don't know if the shadows are a little odd or whatnot, but I tried my best. And after all of that hard work, I have a piece that I'm really proud of, so I happily went and submitted it, and yeah, that hurt. That kinda hurt. I forgot this was friendly fire, so ow. Well, at least the recipient really loved it though. I also concluded to myself that maybe I'll just stick with like canvases that are at most around 64 pixels large, because that seems to be my comfortable limit at the moment. Like, this was great, but oh man, it took a while and was tiring. Was gonna go look for another character to attack, then oh wait, Krill came back with another revenge, and oh look, it's me! It's me! I actually haven't drawn my own character in quite a while until I made this video. Like, I just made this character. I used to play Minecraft and I made my Minecraft skin, and then it kind of just was that. Like, I kept using the character name Sharon, or however you would like to read it, for literally years. And it feels kind of wrong that I just have not drawn her in actually ages. So it was really nice to see more art of her again, because this is so cute. Again, I love her art style. It's so whimsical, it's so nice, and also like the textured brush makes it kind of look like a crayon, makes it feel a little bit more like childish, which probably adds to the whimsicalness of it. And just yeah, the silly creeper. Oh god, this is so cute. I love their art so much. It's so nice. They also jokingly suggested that it would be funny if we just have like a whole revenge chain of just loot bugs, which it would be. It would be so funny. So like I wanted to like actually go look for characters and draw a lot, or as much as I can this year. So like I declined, but it was still kind of funny that like I did actually bookmark like a bunch of bug related characters. It just wasn't like specifically loot bugs. I then slowed down a little bit and didn't do another attack until a few days later, and then suddenly the maniac just hit, and I just sat at my desk for literally 6 hours straight and did this. Don't get me wrong, this is great, but every time I do something like this where I just like work on something for like 6 hours straight, I don't know how I do that. I don't think that's healthy. But anyways, yes, this is Bitula by Usagi Pan. Hopefully I read that right. And it's just a really cool looking fae creature. And I did an animation again because I wanted to practice doing a running animation. Again, to prepare for the game jam that was coming up. Because like I've sort of done run animations before, but like not enough. So I wanted to try doing it again. So I had Bitula just run through a magical forest. It was fine at first. Like I was animating the legs, I had to like adjust a bit of stuff. The original design has the cloak go over the arms anyway, so like it ended up covering most of the arms, so like I got away with just skipping making the arms. But then I realized I actually had to animate their cloak kind of flowing in the wind. And I was like, okay, let's just kind of make it look like there's a sine wave passing through it. And that took me a while. I also found like a plugin for Sprite that kind of logs the brush strokes and like work that I do in Sprite without needing to use OBS to record it and possibly causing lag. So there's that, but like I spent quite a bit of time just sitting there staring at the animation that I had for the cloak and just trying to think of how to make it more seamless. So like there was a lot of time just spent sitting there and like thinking until I finally added the strokes, which isn't necessarily reflected in the time lapse because, well, it's just a time lapse of all the strokes that I did in Sprite. But then I got it eventually, and then I added a little like bob to the staff, which adds a bit to like the bobbing of the running animation, and I think it was pretty good. It's a pretty solid run animation. I was a little worried that Bitula was like merging with the background though, because the background, I added so many colors in it because I just saw like, oh, like this is a fake creature, it has to be in some kind of like enchanted forest or something, and I just started putting so many colors in there that it actually messed with, it actually caused issues with the GIF export because I started getting colored artifacts in there, because originally I actually have a gradient in both the sky and the forest floor. And the issue went away after I removed the gradient, so maybe I had too many colors. I also didn't even expect to like add a background in the first place, but then I just added a parallax background because I don't know. And then like an hour after an hour, it just suddenly took 6 hours straight. Oh man. I don't know how I do this, but yeah, Bitula run good. The next day, I did a
Psych!
B! I'm continuing the revenge train with Tempura Shrimp, and I drew their Baker Bumblebee, Bingo. This was a really chill and nice one. I went back to a 64 pixel canvas like I mentioned earlier, and I got to use the mirror tool again, which sped things up pretty quickly because I mostly only needed to draw half of the image. The mirror tool is great. And here we go, a nice cozy pixel art of a cute fluffy baker bee The background also looked a little plain when I was done with it, so I added those flowers in the back to break up the solid color, and I really think they pulled the whole piece together in the end. Then it was nearing the 17th, so I stopped doing any more attacks to really plan for the game jam with my team. But then, Uncanny Fam sent me a gift, a pixel art of Red. This isn't an art fight attack because she used a base to help her draw this, and art fight doesn't allow usage of bases, but she just really wanted to give me thanks for drawing Soul, so she just sent me this via DMs. And this is very cool. It got all the details in there, and even the sword guard is there on the hilt. That's amazing. This is also a much higher resolution pixel art, which is already better than what I could do in pixel art, and it's just awesome. It just looks really cool. It looks really good. Girl, you have nothing to worry about. The fire is actually fire. Red is associated with fire, and this fire. You got that part right. This is amazing. I have my full focus on making a game for the game jam, but I still check art fight once in a while, and I do. Wait, where does this music come from? And what? Huh? What? What? DRG mass attack? Oh my god, there's so many doors! That's so cool! That's amazing, there's so many of them, and there's so many doors! That's so cool! I've seen people do mass attacks and they're always fucking crazy. But this was the first one that I was included in, and I didn't realize there's so many dwarves on the art fight site. And everyone just has their unique design and personality and quirks to their dwarves. That's so cool to see them all put together like this. I'm glad Mission Control seems to be enjoying this as well, because there's gonna be a lot of dwarf antics that's going on this space rig. Oh man, and oh my god, hold Swarmer gentle like a hamburger. Oh, I'm so happy you included Clarence in here. Oh man. I also noticed how Baynard and Rhodonite kind of just stand out from this image, because the entire color scheme of this has more of muted colors. Everyone just sort of has more muted and darker colors, and then my boys are just there pretty in pastel. You cannot take pastel away from me. It's beautiful. It's just a little funny thing. This is a mass attack from Thenor Goldbeard, but yeah, it. Why? Oh god, you did this as well last year? God damn. I took a look at the one that you did last year, and it's amazing. Oh my god, just Baynard and Rhodonite in there. Way at the front as well, that's really cool. So, I'm just gonna do a zoom in and sweep across the art so that you can kind of see all the dwarves a little more closely, and I will list all the character names and their artists next to them. Unfortunately, if I try to credit everybody in this image, I don't think YouTube would even let me do that. So I only linked Central in the description, so I hope you understand, and I apologize. So stay a while and enjoy the party for a bit. However, there's one issue with this image. I've looked through and through, and I just realized, Threnor, you didn't bloody sign your art! The audacity to not sign this masterpiece is blasphemy. All of you artists out there, for the love of art, sign your goddamn work!
Just do it!
I think you might have forgotten. Like I said, I looked at the mass attack you did last year on Art Fight. I saw that you have a pretty cool logo and a signature on that one. So I was like confused why it wasn't here. I don't know if you hid it somewhere that I just couldn't see, but I just looked through it and I couldn't find a signature anywhere. Cause I will throw hands if someone steals this art. And I'm sure everyone else involved in this mass attack will also fight for you, but still, sign your art, everyone! After that, nothing else really happened throughout the rest of July on Art Fight for me, and I was exhausted after the 2-week jam, just like actually working non-stop. Like, felt great, but I was exhausted. So, I guess that was it for this year's Art Fight. Wait, what's this? Oh, so I actually have 3 more days left for some last-minute attacks. I'm tired, so... Okay, I actually finished another piece, which is a traditional art piece. This is Threnor from Threnor, like how I have Sharon from Sharon. This is his gunner. So I had to take a 40-minute train ride the other day, and I started doing a sketch during that ride, and that was what I ended up with. And during that 3-day extension, I finished it up. I was originally going to just keep it as like an uncolored sketch, but then similar to what I did with Vitula, I just looked at it and was like, it looks too plain. Then I remembered the new markers that I bought, so I took them out and I kind of just was gonna like highlight the eye and then color the background a little bit, and then I was gonna call it a day. And then it made it even more plain and too pale. So then I just whipped out my color pencils as well, because I didn't have any like yellow colored markers. And I colored in at least the hair so that it doesn't look like just a ghost sitting among some green stuff. I was originally going to like revenge the mass attack, but then I realized that with the way that Art Fight is set up, I can't revenge a mass attack if I'm not the direct recipient of it, which is a little dumb. I've also seen some videos that like people were like talking about this, so I guess we'll just have to see if developers of the Art Fight site would get around to it or not later. We'll just have to see. The other thing is also I have actually never drawn any type of like muscle on arms or anything. I usually have just like noodly cartoon stuff. So I really tried looking up some references and kind of tried blocking out certain muscle bits on the arms. I later realized that like the muscle on the forearm should not be visible with that angle of the arm, but I didn't notice until like a few days later. So, well, that's just there now. I'm not gonna fix it either. Then it really was the last day of Art Fight, and I was like, I don't want to do another one, even though there's still a little bit of time left. Like, I should really get some rest. I don't want to do another one. I don't want to do another one. I did another one. I did another one of 3 characters, actually, for some reason. And that is the Waiter, Barbie, and McNugget from 3 different artists. Hyodinary, Tyson Turnpike, and Saflian. I just did like a last minute pixel art which also I kinda spent a little extra time on the background again, because I didn't originally have that much of an idea of what I was gonna put in the background. So I kind of just like finished the foreground and the characters and then just went with whatever I thought made sense. But yeah, basically it's just I called it fast food chaos, where the waiter just slipped on some water and then turned out the fries was actually McNugget, and then Burby's just running across and leaving oily or cheesy tracks all over the floor. The waiter was just a silly character, really goofy, silly drawn character. I love characters where they have like a big head and their face is just like squished together. Those kind of like characters are just really funny to me. And then Burby and McNugget I actually kind of bookmarked quite a while ago, but I never got around to drawing them. And since I decided to draw the waiter first, actually, like I decided to draw the waiter first and then realized, oh wait, these two characters could go with him. And that's how I ended up with one legitimately last minute attack that has 3 characters in it. And I'm still pretty happy with how it turned out as well. It took me like around 2.5 hours, so not nearly as crazy as what ended up happening with Pitula. But yeah, this was my very last piece for Art Fight, and I had some very good rest afterwards. And that is it for Art Fight 2024 for me. With an actual like freer schedule this year, I'm pretty glad that I actually got 7 attacks out. I hope that I will have time for Art Fight again next year, because the art trading around is just really cool. It's amazing when you receive art of your characters, and it feels great when you get to try something new or just get some art practice done in for like a month. I also kept mentioning Thor's Game Jam, and there's a want to make a video about it, but I don't know if I'll ever get to it, to be honest. My video backlog is ever growing, and then last week I realized that Drawtober is starting, so like, more video? But not enough time to make all of them. But either way, I hope you enjoyed this video and the art in here. Go check out all the artists I linked down in the description, and I hope to see you again in whichever video I end up posting next. Goodbye!